I recently returned from a 59-mile, 11-day hike in the high Uintas Wilderness. I did it really comfortably without resupply, so I'm going to teach you in this video how to pack for any kind of trip, even if it's not in the high Uintas, that goes into mountain country for up to 12 days. And that's with a 41-pound pack. It doesn't include water, but it includes the food and everything else. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. I was wearing about 16 pounds of gear outside of my pack. Most of that was related to electronics and the camera, my trekking poles, the weight of my clothes and my shoes, and a gun that I was carrying. So a lot of that stuff is totally optional and can be left behind, except your clothes, of course. I've got a Grand Trunk hammock. I've got some light tent stakes for the tarp, which is right here. Some webbing for the trees that I'm attaching my hammock to. A down quilt. So there's a stuff sack for it as well. Waterproof outer shell, just really light. Kelty Red Cloud. My food bag. It's actually a waterproof dry bag, mostly to keep the odors in. 15.5 pounds. I'm going to discuss later in the video everything in the food bag. The swimmer's towel, mosquito head net, sunscreen, lip balm, change of underwear, make sure it's synthetic. Something like polyester is good. First aid kit, a map, water filtration system. This is the Sawyer Squeeze filtration system. My wallet, TP, some gas, a stove, utensil, lighter, and a pot along with an additional lighter. Fiber fix. This is like that cast material for broken bones. Fire knife, extra cordage, sunglasses, a flashlight, earplugs, a multi-tool, compass, a thermometer, eagle claw collapsible fishing pole. I use the clear plastic bubble method, where I put a clear plastic bubble on about halfway full of water, maybe 3 feet of line after that, and a dry fly, and they go crazy for it. Fishing license. I've got a bunch of stuff that probably isn't necessary for the trip, but is probably going to be good for my additional comfort, or if in case an emergency comes up. Leather oilskin hat. Here's some trekking poles. I usually go without them, but in the high mountain country, you really want something when you're going up or down the steep slopes. This is a DeLorme InReach emergency beacon, and I can actually send text messages with this. I put this in the unnecessary category because this is in addition to my first aid kit. This is a trauma pack, quick clot. It's the stuff that the military uses where you just throw it on a bleeding wound and it helps to clot the bleeding. I'm actually putting mosquito repellent in the unnecessary category because as long as you clothe properly, you don't have to worry about repellent. In fact, you save yourself a lot of weight if you clothe properly. I have something called a shamag, which is like that Middle Eastern head wrap that you can wrap your whole face up in. It helps keep you protected. I'm a big advocate of taking some kind of personal protection with you when you're in the wilderness, especially if you're alone. And so here's some Tylenol PM that I have, 3 selections of it. I haven't decided which one I'm going to take yet, whether it be the Smith & Wesson 686 Deluxe 357 Magnum, or Bear Spray, or the Glock 29 SF in 10mm. Over here is some of my camera equipment, again unnecessary, but I like to film a lot. Here's a carry case for the camera. I've got a Nomad 7 solar panel, which charges this battery pack. It takes about a day to charge the whole thing. Some extra battery packs as well for the camera, and here's some extra disk space, some microfiber cloths for the camera. You can use really expensive covers for your camera, but I just got a dry bag from Walmart and cut a hole down one side, and I can put it over, and this cinches down pretty tightly over this hood, this sunshade for the front of the camera. And this prevents the rain from getting into the lens, and this obviously prevents it from getting to the body of the camera. And it works out pretty well. All right, now let's take a closer look at what I have for my food.